to our YouTube channel, LockDownLunacy. We are so glad you're here with us today. I am Reverend Peggy from Newfoundland, and we are doing some great things today. And you could make us number one. Look, we are hopeful. We are hopeful.
Yeah. Hopeful, yes. I am Reverend Diane. So glad you could join us. If you are one of our subscribers who's been with us for over a year, welcome back. We appreciate you. We love you. And if you're new, we love you too. We just love everyone. But here's the thing. We would love for you to enjoy our content. We have so much fun, and we hope that you feel the fun and enjoy laughing with us, maybe laughing at us. I'm not sure. It don't matter, just as long as you're laughing, right? But you can subscribe to our channel, absolutely free. We will not charge you. And right beside the subscribe button is the little notification bell. Click that, and you can choose how often you want YouTube to notify you about our uploads. So, Pastor Peggy, what are you doing today?
Oh my goodness. Today, well, May, our theme for May was picking days that are in May. That sounds really weird, but it's so much fun. And one of the days in May is Hamburger. It's like National Hamburger Day or something. So we're making homemade hamburgers, but better than that, we're making homemade barbecue sauce as well.
Oh, and it is fabulous.
Fabulous.
Very, very maritime-y. So, hope you are intrigued enough to stick around, because we are about to head to the kitchen. As we were talking about this, I found this recipe on the website for Crosby's. Crosby's makes molasses. They're headquartered in St. John, and found this recipe, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. So we're going to make homemade barbecue sauce, and we need a few ingredients. We're going to start out with, 1 tablespoon of oil and half a cup of minced onion.
I'm going to have to mince up an onion.
Well, you know what I did? I just put it in the food processor, and
well, that works.
I actually used a yellow onion and a red onion, because I had both in the fridge.
I said I have these freeze-dried onions. I wonder would they work?
They might.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to put some of those, and I'm going to get a small onion and mince it up. You know, I have made homemade barbecue sauce. Like, we had a barbecue not too long ago with my brother, and he said, "Where's the barbecue sauce?" And I said, "It's in the pot." He's like, "It's in the pot?" I said, "Yeah, I just made it." But I've never made it with mayonnaise, with molasses.
Oh, really?
So this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm thinking this is going to be very maritime in flavor. So once you get that measured out, going to saute it on the stovetop for however long it takes.
I said I have a new addition to my kitchen. I found it downstairs from my mom, and it says a kitchen prayer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to read it for us?
It's really old. What's that?
Are you going to read it for us?
Sure, I can do that. But I found it down in the basement. It was pretty gringy looking, but I remember it being up in my kitchen as a little girl, and it says, "God bless my little kitchen. I love its every nook, and bless me as I do my work, wash pots and pans and cook. And may the meals that I prepare be seasoned from above with a great blessing and thy grace, but most of all thy love. So bless my little kitchen, God, and those who enter in. May they find naught but joy and peace and happiness therein.
Oh, how nice.
I know. Okay, so my onions are cooked.
Okay. So I just brought my pot over to the assembly area, and we're going to add all the other ingredients. So we need a half cup of molasses. I know, it's weird. And I don't know, do you remember, this would have been when we were kids, silver lasses?
No, but isn't there, well, no, I think Fancy Molasses is the name. Yeah, Fancy Molasses. I would say, is Fancy a brand?
Yeah, mine is pure Fancy Molasses. I don't know if you can quite see it there. There we go.
Okay.
So Fancy is the grade of molasses. Did you guys know that there's somebody that grades the molasses? Who knew? So we're going to want a quarter of a cup of Dijon mustard. And then we need half a cup of chili sauce. If you do not have chili sauce, just regular ketchup will work. All right, and then we need some other seasonings. So we're gonna put a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. All right, and then we're gonna add salt and pepper, half a teaspoon of both.
Salt and pepper?
Yep. And then you're just gonna mix that up real good, and we're going to put it back on the stove, bring it to a boil, and simmer it for 10 to 20 minutes. Oh, I forgot something, didn't I?
I didn't know, maybe it went in later.
No, I forgot it. The recipe calls for half a cup of beer. I'm beer faster.
Called root beer.
And you have root beer? I don't have root beer. I have Sussex Golden. All right. Let's bring to a boil and then we'll simmer.
Okay, mine has come to a boil. I'm going to turn that down. Need a big bowl.
Don't have a big bowl.
I need a big bowl because I'm making a lot of hamburgers. But I'm using moose meat because we have it. I'm using this beautiful extra lean beef here. And I'm going to use some ground pork as well.
What I have is lean ground turkey. And I bought it, where was it? At Super Value. It came 4 of these packages in a bigger package for $10. And
yeah, they're so great and economical.
Yeah, I used one and I didn't like the texture of it, but I don't know, maybe it was just me.
I think I'm going to try it in my mixer.
Go ahead, show off that you have a mixer available.
I don't know if it'll work. Let's see. Oh, I think that's working.
That's great. So what do we put in the meat?
Well, I am going to put some salt and some pepper. And I have 2 egg whites that I have left over from something else that I was making. And I have 2 eggs, so I'm going to put 2 eggs in there. And I'm going to put in some minced onion and some breadcrumbs. And I'm going to put, well, you know, might as well, since you got the Worcestershire sauce out. I know we've made our own barbecue sauce, but I'm going to stick a little bit of prepared barbecue sauce inside of it because I'm going to make a meatloaf out of this as well.
Oh, okay. How much bread?
I had homemade breads, and it was in 3 loaves, and each loaf was about this big. So I put in probably 4 or 5 slices or like one small loaf.
Okay, and that's for 3 pounds of meat. So
Yeah.
I think my 2 slices will be sufficient.
I went ahead and fried up my onions for the top of my, like I said, I like onions on the top of my burger.
So do you bake your burgers or do you fry them in the frying pan or?
I normally fry them in the frying pan with little or no oil in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a non-stick frying pan that I use. And, you know, I did fry the onions in a little bit of oil. I'm scraping them out. But I'll just pop my burgers in here. I'm surprised that the mixer mixing this up so well. So I'm going to make my first patty. I'm going to do 4 patties.
Okay.
And I just take a handful. But here's a trick that I learned. Instead of just making your pancakes like flat like this, if you take it and make a little sort of dent in the middle, it helps it from puffing up really, really high in the middle.
I do not like this turkey meat. I'm trying to use it up.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but don't know until you try, right?
Maybe if you cooked it as a meatloaf and then, or like in a loaf pan, and then sliced it into sections you could have, and then fry each side.
Oh, that might work.
Do you know the trick to, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about making hamburgers from home. And the trick is to put the hamburger in on a medium heat and not move it for at least 4 to 5 minutes and let that outer crust caramelize and then like cook halfway through and then flip it again and again not turn it or move it until it's nice and crispy. And apparently that holds in the moisture.
And another thing, don't push down. You know,
yes.
I remember watching people, they'll flip them and then push down to get the grease out, but then they're dry.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can show you what this looks like. You see, it's still quite runny, but the recipe says that it's going to thicken as it cools. So, oh, it smells good. Yum, yum.
And the burgers look beautiful. And they haven't puffed up too much in the middle.
Look at the size of that tomato.
Oh, I love tomato. I don't have any here though.
Oh,
but
that's a shame.
Let's give this a try.
Give this a try.
Blessings to you and your home.
Interesting.
What's that?
Could be interesting.
Let's give it a try. Barbecue sauce is really nice.
The Maritimer in me. It's nice and sweet.
It's sweet. It's not like when I first tasted it, it was really molassesy. And I was like, I'm not sure. But now that it's simmered for a while and cooled down a little bit, it still has that sweetness, but it's certainly not as molassesy as it was in the beginning.
Right.
It's very nice. And my burger, I don't know about yours with your little turkey stuff there, but my burger with the mousse and the beef and the pork, I mean,
it is wonderful.
Oh my gosh. It's delicious.
You know, the turkey, it did cook up good. It tastes good, but it's like that minced, you know,
right.
Like it's just not ground. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
But it tastes.
And that's the first way I've ever cooked a burger, where like a homemade burger. I've had burgers from the store where I flipped a dozen times, but this is the first time where I've done it where I've only touched it once, and that was to flip it over.
Mm-hmm.
And what a difference it makes to the texture and the juiciness of the burger. You're just feeling all the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Wow.
Another good week. Another good recipe.
Let us know if you try it or try something similar.
Yeah. We'd love to see what you do with our recipes.
Do you know what I loved about today's recipe?
What did you love?
Was that I used root beer, but you used Sussex ginger ale, and I'm sure they had two different flavors.
Yep.
But it would be really interesting to find out if anybody used anything other than either the beer, which it calls for, or the root beer, or the ginger ale, because mine was delicious.
Oh, I am amazed at how good I can cook. Every time we make something, it's like, I did this? I have never made barbecue sauce before.
I always do.
And I think the best part of mine, like the turkey burger and the barbecue sauce was good, but just the icing on the cake was the tomato. I don't often have tomatoes on my hamburgers when I make them at home. Okay. But that was just.
Oh yeah, I didn't have any tomatoes, but I can imagine that was really, really good on that.
Well, I'm so glad that you could join us for this month of Cooking Up a Storm. It has been fulfilling. See what I did there?
Join us back here in June. We are going to have a different theme. We're going to be doing something completely different because each month is going to be a theme. So if you have suggestions of themes or things that you would like to see, we'd love to hear them in the comments below, or send us an email. What's our email address?
Our email address is LockDownLunacy@gmail.com.
So from Buckins, Newfoundland, I am Reverend Peggy.
And from Norton, New Brunswick, I'm Reverend Diane. Be safe.
Be healthy.
And be
the church.
The church.